Track 4 on Undertones is Undertone, and this song is one that I really enjoyed recording. I enjoyed performing it. I remember recording the vocal, and there was some family stuff going on that was kind of something I was drawing from emotionally. To me, the song is just about having a conversation with someone and knowing that everything's not okay, and you can tell in their voice that something's going on and they're not telling you the full skinny. So that's what this song means to me. It has you know, this cool layered guitar thing. And that kind of guitar riff I had from the very first moment I wrote the song. I wrote the song with my friend Svasina. That's her stage name. Her real name is Molly Hunt, and she's really super talented writer and artist and singer. She's having some real success. So check out her music. It's Svasina, S-V-R-C-I-N-A. And we wrote the song and had it almost finished, and we just couldn't quite nail it down and turn the corner in the right way with it. So we brought in Mark Carson, who I hadn't written with before, and Molly had written with a lot. And he came in, and we just tied it up with a little bow. So it was a three-way write, this song. And yeah, I'll open up the session here and show you some of what's going on with the track and how I've laid it. Okay, so this is the mixing session for Undertone. Basically, I'll go through how this track's laid out. These are all the drum tracks. Go into the bass tracks. There's a bass DI, 2 bass mics on the amp. It's a B15 amp. And then there's one electric guitar. There's another electric guitar, the left electric guitar, the right electric guitar, the solo electric guitar, an acoustic guitar that just comes in toward the end of the song, a vocal, and some background vocals. I'm not sure we really use many background vocals, but they're there. And there's quite a few effects on aux sends here, and quite a bit of parallel compression going on, which is a technique in which you have the more or less unaltered signal playing at the same time as a heavily affected signal. So, for example, on the drums, where are the drums? They don't come in yet. So that's the drums kind of dry. And then I'll bring in this kick and snare bus. Take it off, it just sounds kind of a little less exciting. There's not too much going on in the way of effects on this song. I have a decapitator on the snare drum, parallel snare, 11/76 on the snare. Kind of just gluing it a little. The rooms I'm hitting pretty hard, I think. Not too hard. Maybe when it gets later in the song. Yeah, see, it's really crunching the rooms nicely. Anyway, some of you will be interested in drums, some of you will not. Bass track. Actually, the way we recorded this, it has a little bit of a buzz going on. But it's a good sound. It's my Gretsch White Falcon acoustic, White Falcon guitar. So that's just a bunch of guitars stacked together. There's a solo part here which playing a different register than the main guitar solo, and then there's just some kind of rhythm guitars chunking away there. And that's kind of really all that's going on. On the vocal, I have a Neve 1073 plugin and Fairchild going on here. This is the way the session's laid out. I mixed all the songs on the album, and I really enjoyed the process of mixing. So the drum tracks are up here. I'm zoomed in for some reason on those couple. And the bass tracks are here. There's one guitar. I do a lot of automation. As you can see, I'm writing that track a lot. Especially with the nature of those guitar parts coming in and out and kind of breathing in the right way. I needed for them to poke through in the correct moments. Yeah, this little solo guitar here just happens during the solo. And then we have the vocal. It's all cut up because I did some manual automation and all kinds of things. And I did a little Melodyne tuning just to tweak certain notes a little bit. Not much tuning at all, but I find the Melodyne affects the sound of the track. So what I would do is comp from the Melodyne track and use mostly the unaffected vocal, but sometimes bring in certain notes to be a little tighter to the pitch.
Say nothing's wrong, but I don't believe you. You don't wanna talk, but you need to.
Yeah, Fairchild's barely going. I have a double, parallel vocal that I'm hitting with an 1176. I'm slamming it. Look at that.
Say nothing's wrong, but I don't believe you. You don't wanna talk.
Yeah, it really adds some kind of grit to it. And then I have this R box on a send as well.
But I don't believe you. You don't wanna talk.
It's not really doing very much. That plugin just sounds a little bland to me. But other than that, just a de-esser and vocal effects. I have plate reverb EMT 140 on a send with some EQ just rolling off the highs and lows. So it's kind of more of a MIDI sounding EQ. Mid-rangey sounding EQ. I get that idea from Chad Blake, who I really like the way he mixes. I watched so many videos on mix with the masters, learning how to mix an album. I'm going to mix tracks the way I wanted them, and I knew that I was going to spend the time to get it the way I wanted it, and that's what I did. On the mix bus here, I just have a 33609 Neve compressor, which to me is kind of the Chili Peppers sound, and it always just sounds like the Chili Peppers. I know Andrew Sheps used it on a lot of those records, but I just set the recovery here to 100 milliseconds, and
say nothing's wrong, but I don't believe.
There's barely any gain going on there at all, and I use an EQP1A Pultec to just boost a little bit of the super highs at 16K. And cut a little of super lows. I mean, that's barely doing anything, but just having the plug-in in the chain kind of gets this richness, transformery kind of sound that really works, I think. On the guitars, effects, what am I doing? I'm sending the guitars to like all of the effects, okay? So these are my effects that I have set up. I have an EMT 140 plate, another one, different one from the vocal. I have a AKG spring reverb on the preset backing vocals, so I guess I'm using that for backing vocals probably. Which I think the backing vocals are just stacks. Trooper Time Cube, a little delay, an ATR 102 tape plugin here for a little tape slap. I have my own preset I made called JR Slap. Dimension D, Roland with all the buttons in. That gives a kind of nice spread, stereo spread. And that's really all that's going on. So that was Undertone. I hope you enjoyed that little breakdown of what's going on in the mixing session. Thanks for watching.